Third point is which follows on is get some coachment. And again, to summarize, what that is there's mentors and there's coaches, and this is combined in just to coachment basically. And to try to avoid a lot of the lessons we're talking about is by not doing it alone, seeking out experts in the field, seeking out people. You have to be humble. You have to be uh, basically like, I don't know this problem, etc., rather than thinking you know everything, and then you will definitely walk into problems. And to summarize in 3 points, be tenacious. Your valuable advice is often hard won. Be persistent in seeking the right mentors and insights, and seize opportunities as they rise. And if Richard at one point was trying to break into the USA, and there was a chap he was trying to speak to, in the States to potentially help him as a mentor, and he just couldn't get hold of him. And when he did get hold of him, he said, "Oh, I can't remember where it was. I'm in this area tomorrow. Richard is in the UK," and he just said, "Well, I happen to be in that area tomorrow." He wasn't, but he managed to get a meeting booked in, and then he booked his flights and went out there instantly, straight away. And that's just about when the opportunity arises and the door opens, you have to move and pounce, because some of these people that you need to speak to, they don't have much time. And constantly read and learn. That's what this book is one, but there's so much structured advice in books, and I'm an advocate of that. And what do you guys think about that? Do you reckon you would have made more money if you did, or been not made as many mistakes, or been more successful if you did more coachment earlier on? What do you think?
I think, to be fair, like if I was being critical of myself, always done pretty well at making sure that if I'm going to make a big decision, try and speak to someone who's close to knowing the solution or having good advice around that specific decision. Like I'm really happily just ask lots of questions to people, and I'll ask them and be like, "Oh, mate, can you give me an hour of your time? Like, can I just pick your ear on this?" And usually, most people go, "Yeah, man, sure." Like, but I think a lot of people are scared to do that bit and go like, "Oh, I don't want to burden you with my I've got some questions." But loads of people want to give information down the chain who've been there and done it, and I've always been quite good at that, and it's served me very, very, very well, because there's decisions that I was going to make, or that I just was naive and didn't know what the solution was because I'd not been there before, where someone of better knowledge or someone wiser, typically older people, will ask you very simple questions, and they know how to disseminate information into like a simple path for you to understand. And some of those simple questions have led me to make big decisions that have paid out very well later on. So I think it's imperative that from the start, ideally, you've got people around you that you improve over time who are just that bit better than you, and that you kind of like they're sucking you up the ladder. So yeah,
Sucking,
yeah,
great word. The
sucking.
just the
More
problem
like
with that though,
pulling.
slightly,
Ryan's probably
yeah,
better. Anyway,
yeah,
Oh
carry on.
yeah,
yeah.
sucking me up the ladder. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
the slight problem with that though is that entrepreneurs often take all the advice in the world and go, I'm doing it anyway. It's that classic
yeah.
adage of them not knowing, like it's like which t-shirt shall I wear, honey? This one or this one? They pick the one you don't want to wear, and you still wear the same one that you're going to wear, and that's quite an entrepreneurial trait. I mean, I completely concur with it. Stu?
I would say, looking at my journey, is that I think I'm a big believer in like your internal radar. So like it's like buying a purple car. When you buy a purple car, you see purple cars everywhere. I think once you've sort of tracked out your vision, you sort of suck in knowledge and conversations and questions and environments that you find yourself in, that you just can extract as much as you can from that, and you build your like internal jigsaw, and you sort of build your own path. You're right, Jack. You're going to go down a road and go, "Fuck, that was the wrong path," and you'll find your central again and go a different direction. But and that comes down to every opportunity. I mean, I think we're generally opportunists, and I think if I always find an extra 2 hours of a day somewhere to do something that's popped up that needs to be done or has to be done, or there's a huge opportunity there. And we just go the extra mile. Like I would jump on a plane tomorrow if it was going to lead to the path that needed to be done in my own personal journey. Not that I'm trying to run a big business, but I definitely wouldn't see. I wouldn't just turn my back and go, "Nah, I can't be bothered." Like the being manana and lethargic and not taking up opportunities is not what all of us are built on. But I do think that your own path is built internally, and you just expose yourself to the problem, and you naturally will find the answer, whether it's in a book, in a conversation. You know, it's mad. Like I see so many customers and meet so many people, and just by asking the questions at the time, over the last 10 years, I've just spoke to someone who has got the answer or does that exact job in someone's business or knows a best friend, and you just join all these patterns up, and it's just mad how it's like nature. It's literally like the rings of a tree.
Asking
Yeah, and I
questions.
think,
Good car
and
analogy as well, Stu. Nice one.
Yeah,
Josh.
purple. He did
and
purple card, didn't he?
It was a good one.
but this is just really important though, because you guys mentioned it before. You've got to get coachment, but they can't tell you the answers, and you will sometimes go against their advice. And this is where the heart of the entrepreneurs, and this is where the risk is all the time. Even if you take advice, you could be wrong, and sometimes you have to go against advice, and you might be wrong or you might be right. I'm reading a different book at the moment for the third time. It's called The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, and in that book, it's a great book. He battled through some really trying issues of scaling his business and nearly went bust several times. And he had a really experienced mentor who basically at one point told him, you have to get ready for bankruptcy, basically. And this was a guy that any other time was like, this is how you can get out of it. But he was literally like, you're done, you're done. And Ben really valued this mentor for years, went against his advice and basically said, I ain't done until I'm done, and managed to find. And the mentor's like, you're not going to find your way out of this. Get ready for bankruptcy. Protect yourself. Ben said, nah, I'm going in, and he found a way out of it. Turned the business around, and that was a stacking. So it's difficult. It's very difficult. And Richard in his book as well. He bought Checkatrade. You all know Checkatrade. He bought it for £74 million. It was making less than £1 million. That's a massive, massive multiple. Like any advisor, like
74 times.
what are you doing? That is insane. He bought a business in Spain that was like doing 20 million or something like that, and like not making anything, losing money, and they bought it for over 20 million. It was something like that. That's not in the book, I don't think, but that was what he told me. And again, because his vision was so strong and clear that he was connecting dots nobody else could see. And for Checkatrade, at the writing of this book, at the some people thought he was nuts, but last year it broke through the 100 million revenue barrier and cleared 20 million of profit, and which made that 74 million pound purchase seem like a bargain in a way. I know they've done a lot of work obviously for that, but anyway, so it's difficult.
I always say to like our like men, like if I'm mentoring anyone, it's all well and good choosing to make a decision that has risks just off the bat. But if you understand the risks, like his matey boy said, you could go bankrupt. This is my opinion, and he went against it. At least he knows more depth to the problem.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like the mentoring or the advisory is sometimes you can go against it because typically it's grey hair versus no grey hair, where a younger player is more willing to take risk, put energy into things. So it's that balance of them going, "Whoa, I think you're f***ing up here." But as long as you've had that consultation and understood the depth of the risk to take it, rather than just going, "I'm doing this now," and not understanding the side point.
It's a great point. Jeff Bezos says it in his book as well. It's there's two types of decisions. There's the decisions you can walk through the door and walk back through. Those they don't spend much time on. It's like, as long as we can come back and we're not going to die, then we should, we should have a good appetite for those types of risks. And then there's the types of decisions that you make where you walk through that door and you cannot come back. It either works or it absolutely blows up. Those decisions you have to be so careful of and calculated, and ideally not make them unless you have to.
Just real quickly on mentorship and everything. Imagine if there was a network that was cost effective in property, where people could tune in, do Q&A every week, and learn about how we grow our businesses.
Progressive property.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's
Samuel Leeds.
Sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.